Hi everybody, welcome to Simply Scuba. In today's video, I have the AquaLung Seaflare torch. So this is the kind of the middle range of the entire Seaflare. You have the little mini, you also have the Pro, which is the bigger version of this. This is that kind of Goldilocks kind of in the middle. 1300 lumens of light, so that's pretty powerful, especially for a torch of its size. And it has a sensible burn time because it's got a big rechargeable battery on the inside. Very, very practical. Let's see what you actually get inside of the box. Okay, so let's take a look and see what you actually get in the box. So this is the box here in front of me. The box has all of the vital statistics of the torch right there in front of me, which is quite handy. So the first thing is 1300 lumens. That's quite a lot. That's a very bright torch. I'd be using that as a pretty powerful primary torch out in sort of blue waters at night, but if you shine it at like the white sandy bottom, you'll probably get quite a lot of glare on that. 1300, yeah, you'll do a fair amount of UK diving, sort of murky green waters. You'll be able to sort of use that. But as a real sort of primary dive torch, I'd probably go for something a little bit brighter if it's bad visibility. Good visibility, perfect. But yeah, sort of really bad visibility, I'd probably go a little bit higher. Maximum depth 150 meters, deeper than I can go, so that's perfect. Impact resistance, if you drop it, it should be fine. Try not to drop it though. 180 to 600 minute burn time. So what's that? Just over what, 2.5 hours, or 10 hours at sort of low power. Use on land is quite nice. So this is handy if you take the dogs for a walk early in the morning or late sort of at night in the winter, and you just need a torch. 1300 lumens is a powerful torch, and with a lot of the sort of older torches, dive torches, they'd use the water as a heat sink to dissipate the heat produced by the torch. But this means that you can use this on the land. It will have a heat regulator or some special chip in it that sort of limits the power rating when you're using it on dry land. So that's a nice feature. Color ID, you can see these here. You get these little collars that go around the head of the torch. 4 different colors. So if you have multiple family members, they all have the same torch. You know whose is who. And another thing which is quite handy or quite interesting, I suppose, is that they glow in the dark. So if you shine your torch on them, they'll actually glow, which is quite cool. Replaceable battery, comes with a battery. I'll show you that. I think it's like a 26650, but that's a like a rechargeable lithium ion battery, and yeah, you get the USB charger, so you can recharge it via a USB plug. And color kit, again, I don't know why they said it twice. On the back of the box, even more sort of information about the torch, but all of this will be on our website, simplyscuba.com. There'll be a link in the description so you can check that out. Actually, inside the box, because that's why you're all here, let's take a look. So, book of words about the entire Seaflare range. So again, just more statistics and what it does basically. They're all torches. The torch itself, I'm going to go into closer detail a little bit later on that. At the moment, we're just focusing on what's inside of the box. Whoa. All sorts of stuff comes out. So, bit of cardboard gone. We have 4 of these silicone rings, 4 different colors. So yeah, you can get creative, and yeah, I believe they glow in the dark when you like charge them up. So yeah, if you want to get creative, you want to match your style, yeah, you can definitely do that. Big rechargeable battery, 5500 milliamp hour, 26650 battery. I'm just going to take this bit of plastic off and dispose of that responsibly, and then I'm going to pop that in the torch in a second so you can actually see it turned on. Rechargeable cradle, so spring-loaded cradle, so you can recharge the battery. USB cable again, so you can plug it into a USB powered port. That way you don't need too many sort of charging plugs and stuff when you go abroad. A really nice wrist lanyard. This is like paracord. I don't think it is paracord, but it's very similar to paracord. And unlike the very cheap wrist lanyards that you tend to get, this is actually really nice because they've done that, what's it, like a cobra weave or whatever they call it. So that's nice and secure. It's very strong as well. So yeah, I'd definitely like to upgrade my wrist lanyard to something like that. So that's a nice improvement. 3 replacement O-rings, pre-greased. So these are replacement O-rings. You don't need to fit these to the torch when you get it straight out of the box. These are for when the ones that are already fitted start to wear out. And they're pre-greased as well, so you get a nice seal. So that's everything that's in the box. Let's take a close look at the torch itself. Okay, so this is the torch itself. Most of it is made out of aircraft grade aluminium, which is nice and light, but it's also robust and corrosion resistant. The main handle, this has got a sort of a rubberized grip to it, so it gives you something to sort of grab hold of. In the head, single LEDs, that's what's producing that 1300 lumens of light. You have the button, so that's your user interface to turn it on and off. Just around that, you actually have a little halo. And underneath that you have color-coded LEDs, and those are going to be your sort of your battery level indicator. You might not be able to see it when I turn it on because it's quite bright with all these lights, but they're it's like a traffic signal. So if it's green, it means your battery's pretty full, but as it starts to go down to red, then it means your battery's starting to run out. So it's a little battery level indicator. On the bottom, you have a little lanyard loop, so that's kind of recessed so it doesn't get knocked around, and that's how you're going to attach your lanyard or a bolt snap or whatever you want. Putting the battery in, hold on to the head and then rotate the body, and that will unscrew. And we see 2 O-ring closure system here. So whenever you're changing the battery, just make sure they're nice and smooth. They've got a little bit of grease on them, but no grit or hair or anything. Negative goes in first. And then when I put the torch back together, I tend to put them in square and then I actually unscrew it until it clicks and then screw it back in. That makes it sort of sure that I'm not going to cross thread that screw thread. Oop, and it switches on. And that's it. That's pretty quick and easy. So single button user interface, switching it on, press the button once. And it switches on. As you can see, it's a pretty sort of spotlight beam, but there is a bit of a halo around it as well. So that means it's a good sort of all-rounder kind of torch. It means you can use it to sort of signal your buddy to focus on one thing in particular. But if you also want to see what's going on around that beam of light, it's also illuminating the reef around that spotlight. If you press the button again, dials it down to a sort of a mid-range power setting, press it again and it goes to a lower power setting, press it again and it switches off. So that's pretty easy to get your head around. I'll see if you can see the battery level indicator. Right now it's green. You might be able to see a hint of green around that button, and that's your power, your battery power remaining. As the battery starts to dwindle, that color will start to change, and you go, oh, maybe I should start to dial it down. And that's the torch. It feels very solid. There's nothing sort of rattling or sort of feels loose. It feels very strong and rugged. I'd be happy sort of this in my kit bag just sort of as it is. It feels pretty robust and they can sort of take a hit. Yeah, it's a powerful little torch. So that's the AquaLung Seaflare dive torch. As I said at the beginning, it's a very sort of Goldilocks, literally where it sits in the Seaflare range. But yeah, as far as size and power, it's definitely ticking all the right boxes. The rechargeable battery, yeah, that's very modern, what most dive torches are going towards. You have that rechargeable cradle or rechargeable battery inside of the torch. As far as power rating, yeah, it's a little overpowered for like a night dive in like the Red Sea, somewhere with like crystal clear blue waters. It's probably going to be a little bright if you're using it at full power, so I'd probably dial it down over there. I'd be happy using this at home, sort of in the UK, in our sort of green waters for most dives. This will be sort of more than enough to sort of have a look around and signal to my buddies and that kind of stuff. If stuff did get a bit on like a very bad visibility day, I'd probably want something a little bit more powerful. But yeah, this would be a very powerful backup torch, and because of its size, it's not ridiculously big for a backup torch. So yeah, that would be a good option for you. Yeah, very easy to use and very easy to sort of change the battery. It's definitely a winner in my books. This is the AquaLung Seaflare dive torch. There'll be more information on it on our website, simplyscuba.com. There'll be a link to it right down in the description below. Thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.